The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed on Leadership Lounge Live are for entertainment and informational purposes only. They do not reflect the official policies, beliefs, or positions of any individuals, organizations, or platforms mentioned. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent research and critical thinking. Enjoy the conversation and engage responsibly.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to Leadership Lounge Live, where I am your host, Lewis Marshall. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Uriah, and Miss Autumn. How you guys doing?
What's happening? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Oh, man. 50 episodes.
Woo, woo, woo.
Ooh.
Booyaka,
Yeah.
booyaka.
Yeah, do it.
Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka.
Yo, I want to thank you both for being co-hosts here at the Leadership Lounge Live. We could not be the show that we are without both of you guys. So I want to start out and say thank you to both of you.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you for having us on the show.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Of course. And then I also want to say a special thank you to Miss Jen, who has been working really, really hard behind the scenes. Thank you for all that you do behind the scenes, all the graphics, all of the web designs, all of the updates, the newsletter, all of it. We really, really could not be the show that we are without you. So thank you as well. 50 episodes, man. This started like a year ago, longer than a year ago now. Can you guys, as my two co-hosts, tell me what is the first thing you remember about Leadership Lounge? And either one go first.
First thing I remember, I was like, I know exactly where he's at. I remember being very new to just recording and like production and having, and just making it work with what you got. I was like, I see where he's at. He's making it happen.
Yeah, those were rough to go back and even watch. I ain't gonna front. Like, really hard to watch. How do you remember which episode you started watching from? Uriah?
I don't. It was around January, February. So like around this time last year.
Okay, so you might have been around the beginning. Adama, what about you?
I remember. Okay, so when you guys did the first Zoom, you remember?
That was in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just So I was kind of I'm still kind of new to it. And I remember sitting in the living room trying to get the right light, and then trying to figure out how to, as usual, trying to get the right light. And then I remember just listening to everything, and I was like, oh, this is very informative. Oh, he is really passionate about this. And I think that's when it was when Uriah did his first show.
Okay.
That's when I came on. Yeah, it was the editing. Yeah.
Yeah, we did the 2-week editing.
Yeah, it was editing.
Session.
Yep.
So
now I
was
remember.
well into it. Like, you was almost maybe a third of the way into it by then.
That was like episode 18 or 19 about then when we did that. So that was summer of 2024.
But I watched it before. I watched it because I would participate in just the chat part of it, but I never like engaged. Like I was engaged then.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, wow, he's so brave. I would never in my lifetime get on live and do that. Like, what am I going to talk about? And Yeah, I just thought I would never. And then I remember listening. Then when you had your first guest, I think it was Uriah, right? When you had your first guest,
Yeah.
and I saw you guys talking, I was just like, man, one day I wish I could be on there just to talk, like as a guest, you know.
That's how it starts. That's how it
That's how I
starts,
started. That's
And now look at us, three amigos.
right?
Right.
Now you're doing live. Now you're doing live.
And
And
I'm
now
doing
you
live.
are
And
sitting
I'm
in
getting that
podcast.
feeling. And I'm getting that feeling. Like, I just want to tell you, and I know I just want to tell you, thank you. Thank you for bringing this to us. And thank you for giving us this platform. And thank you for just, like, you pushed on even when it was just you by yourself. Like, I went back this week to go look at a lot of the stuff, especially after we talked about what we talked about the new things going on. I went back to look at you and I was like, he literally was the little engine that did.
Yeah.
Not could, that did.
yes.
Like, you persevered, like you went through it. Yo, you're 50. Like, it's in the thank you.
I really appreciate that. Well, and so it's two-tiered for me. I say that to mean it's really rewarding for me to just give back in the way that I'm able to give back regarding AI. But then to hear from other creators that I've helped them along their journey really, really is very, very rewarding for me. And so to hear you say, hey, 6 months ago, you had an initial dream about doing this, and now 6 months later, we're doing it together, really is very, very rewarding. So I appreciate that. I received that.
The growth.
Special shout out to Jen over in the Philippines. Thank you for being here. And special shout out over on the watch party to Bernade. Thank you for being here.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little cough.
I know we all still sicky. You right? You were going to say something. What were you going to say?
What'd you say?
You were going to say something. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to also just basically give you your flowers and just tell you how proud I am of you from this whole journey. I've known you since before you was like, okay, I'm not going to get on video. I'm not doing it. To simultaneously like starting Unleashed and going and beginning to go live. And I was like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's brave to do it by yourself, like just to get out there and talk and put yourself out there repeatedly. Like that shows a lot of gumption. That shows a lot of determination. So I'm like, let me keep my eye on this guy. Like this guy seems like he doing something. He got some determination. He might just be as crazy as I am. Like, let's see how crazy he is. And sure enough, obviously I'm here now, right? So you're definitely just as crazy, as passionate and determined as I am when it comes to something that I want to do. You do it. You eliminate any excuses, and you just keep doing it. Like you could have gave up a long time ago. Like I was with a podcast, we didn't give up, but I mean after 10 episodes, we burnt out. I did like the production on the back end, and it's like, oh man, okay, we did 10 great episodes, but like now I'm tired. Like we can't keep it going. So it's like everybody got competing priorities, got things going, and you found a way just to keep it going. And I applaud that. Like the determination and the sustainability and the continuity that you put into it is just amazing.
Yeah, I received that. Thank you. And we've talked a lot. We've talked a lot on the back end about, the vision for the show. And I think last week's episode really solidified that for me, like my vision for where the show is going to go for the next 50. We got a lot of guests signed up for the next really 6 weeks. I got to get my own date on the calendar so I can even present. We got a lot of new people that are going to be coming to speak to our community and speak on their area of expertise and really giving the creator back an opportunity to highlight the creator and what we do. It may not be necessarily related to AI and art, but being able to have a space for other creators and creatives to come and just hang out and talk with us about what they do is really powerful. So I appreciate the fact that we were all able to like come together, because that's rare. We've seen that a few times where people have come together and it may not work out and they go their separate ways, but the work doesn't get done. And so I appreciate that we've all hit stumbles in the road with regard to our crafts and still come together and get it done every Sunday. So shout out to both of you guys and to Jen on the back end.
Guys, let's give each other high
Big shout out
10.
to Jen on the back
High
end, 'cause
10.
Oh,
she has to
cheers.
deal with Lewis every day.
Yo, facts. And we went to coffee this morning. We had a good coffee this morning. Call it strategic planning. But no, I can't do what I do without Jen, you know, and I made it a point early on in the show to just make sure that I recognize her often and let you guys know, hey, she's doing this aspect of things, she's doing this aspect of things, and she's grown into the role of producer naturally, very naturally. So
And she's mommy too, you know, so it's like that, you can't take that away, where it's like that's a lot going on, like
yep.
working behind the scenes on all fronts. So oh Jen.
So, hey, I just want to touch on this right quick. I went back to my week 1 notes. You know, I got this notebook. It's got all my goodies in it, right? So I went to week 1 and I'm like, yo, what did we talk about? It says on January 21st, 2024, we talked about some art styles. We talked about dash repeat and the light cut app, because we had so many new people that were trying to figure out, hey, how do we package this and put it together? And now you look forward to, a lot of us are now prompting via AI for some of those same things on a very different level. So I'm curious, and I'm going to interview you guys today. What is one thing that you did a year ago as an AI creator? And I'll start with you, Raya, so Adama don't feel picked on. What is one art style or thing that you did back then that you very much still do and is a part of your prompt framework to get quality results?
What do I still do to get quality results? I still use photorealistic. I still use, photo image. I still use complete sentences. Like when I say complete sentences, but like in that language, complete sentences, like I make sure all the thoughts are clear and I try to eliminate anything that's noise. So if it doesn't belong in there, take it out. Especially in Mid-Journey, I try to take out anything that doesn't need to be in there. Like, ofs, is, anything personalized. Like Mid-Journey doesn't need that. It really just needs like subjects, adjectives, nouns to get it going. You can add some verbs in there when you're trying to show some action, but for the most part, I try to keep the noise out, make sure none of my adjectives aren't contradicting, because it could get like that, because a lot of times I'll just combine a bunch of ideas, so it could get messy. So that's why I say I try to keep it clean, because I like this idea, I like this idea, I like what Lewis did over there, I like what Adama did over there, I like what Jen did there, and then I combine it into something else. And then sometimes it gets really nice, but then sometimes it can get really noisy, and then like start pulling out the noise, then it kind of, it gets more crispy. Like when you really want that clarity, you got to pull the noise out of it. When you have too much in there that doesn't need to be there, you get the blurred, the cartoony. Like if you're really going for like that realism, you really got to pull out a lot of the noise to keep it cooking good.
I totally understand that. Yeah, for sure. And I appreciate what you said there about leaning on your other, I'll say, group mates to be able to take some inspiration, but you don't take their design. You combine it with your own level of creativity, is what I heard.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's inspiration.
Yeah. So
you
I
take
think
other
that's really
people's
important. Go
you
ahead.
take other people's art and you use that as your inspiration, because that's the only thing that keeps you going. Is like if you see something and it inspires you, then that's the good. Like you're not gonna, when you see something you don't like, it doesn't inspire you. So when you pull from other people, that's inspiring. So when I see my work in other people's, I feel proud. I'm like, oh, I inspire somebody. It's like I don't really look at it like, oh, they copying or stuff like that. Like if you're trying to do what I'm doing, then that means I'm making an imprint on you or on the community or however that goes.
No, that. Adama, what about you? Same question.
What I do from a year ago that I still do now, I try to refine who I see every day, which is myself, my color, the people around me. You see what I'm saying? So I've gotten really good at creating images that look like us. Like if I figured that, if I describe them this way last year, and I literally go back, I'm like, maybe I could try it this way this year. And a lot of people keep asking me like, oh, how did you get the image to be like this? Because I literally go back to my old prompts. And I'm like, if I got it to look like the sticky, for example, I would have never came up with sticky because I remember going back in there and saying something like putting syrup, give it like a syrupy, oily gloss. And then I took that and put it in chat, and chat said like a sticky appearance. Here we go, sticky. I literally, what I've learned to do is ask questions. I didn't ask questions before. And that has worked for me. It has worked for me so much so. I don't ask people questions like, hey, could you give me this? I'm like, how did you achieve that? And I learned a lot of that through Uriah. He was one who came to me and said, hey, you're dope, but have you tried doing this? And I'm like, oh. And then he taught me about parameters and styles, and he actually was the one who made me go over to Midjourney. And I didn't ask, and then think about it, that was so weird, is that I didn't know how to use Midjourney, but he was like, have you thought about using your chat? And then if you have any questions, ask me. And that's exactly what I did. And so that's how I learned. I know that it's easy. I've stuck to that rule. Like even when I see your art style, I remember you telling me, Adama, did you know that Midjourney, you can go back and get the different versions to tweak and do your things? I'm like, what? So I would go back all the way to 5.1. And then I'll come back to 6.1. But this is how my art style goes. And I use that from that day that you and I connected, Lewis, and we talked for 2 hours and you were asking me about texture of hair. Like I love defining who we are and things like that. And then you showed me how to do the versions of to tweak it. So I want to say parameters, styling, asking, and not wanting a direct answer. I want you to tell me how I can achieve it. That way I can be a resource for myself. I hope that was.
No, that was perfect. That was spot on. I really think that you hit all of the things that for the creators who are trying to get to the next level, just being able to have a resource to ask, one, and how you present that question to them. Not necessarily, hey, can you do it for me? But can you show me how to do it for myself is what I heard you say. And then in parallel, I heard you leaning on the resources that have made themselves available to you. Actually, hey, Uriah, I got a question. Or, hey, Uriah gave you some support and a suggestion, and it was constructive criticism. And so you're like, let me try it that way. Oh, I didn't know I could do it this way. Oh, I didn't know I could describe it this way. Okay, let me add that into what I already do to make something completely new and different. Yeah. So I love that.
And I want to say one more thing, and I want to say this part with you right here, with both of you too. What I love about it, and I guess people won't really understand this part, but I really hope you do. Like when you ask us questions, or for me, because I've learned from these two, like, hey, Adama, remember when I was trying to get my characters to stay the same? You both gave me basically the same answer. And so I knew where to find it. And then you said, okay, if that still confuses you, you're more than welcome to ask us. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I help people myself. And I don't want anyone to ever think that I don't want to help you. I want to help you, but you'll retain it better if you know where to go and how to get it. Because then it's just like, boom, I can create art just like that. Just like how I love how clean your prompts look. Like, and you two both said to me, when I sent you both the prompt one time during the October, and Lewis said, yo, your hair texture, everything looks great, everything. And you both got back to me like literally 5 minutes apart. Why are your prompts so long? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm a writer. Look, listen, this is the woman in me. You ready? What do you mean? I am a writer, and Midjourney loves it when I write. No, Midjourney doesn't. Midjourney's like, can you please take this whole paragraph out and just put like this much in and tell me what you need? And it finally, when you guys told me that, I didn't take anything personal, but now I can store it in my head. Like, in order to get what I need to be direct. And now I know how to talk to AI. So I just want to say thank you both. And that's primarily the reason why my art looks the way it does. And that's how I teach other people now. Okay, that's it.
Nah, I received that. Because here's the thing for me. So there was a gentleman end of 2023. His name is Joe, and I don't remember what Joe's last name is, and I know he's still in my DM. But Joe, at the point where I came into the AI space and was introduced to an actual prompt engineering structure, man, Joe was like light years ahead of everybody else. His stuff was just phenomenal quality. The depth of ability in his art was just lights out, total 10. And he broke it down in a couple of different ways, but it was very complex for me to understand as a new person. And I knew that if I was to get some questions about how to do what I do, I got to find a way to simplify it. So most of how I teach is just based on the notes that I've taken from my experience, and then me actually just translating it on the level that the individual I'm talking to is at. So if they're a brand new person, I can't talk to them about parameters. It needs to be more about structure so that they understand how to kind of help themselves get to the answer so they don't have to pay somebody else long term. I mean, if they want to, cool, but I want to be able to teach them how to be self-sustaining, essentially. So the ability to learn how to prompt was very important to me early on. And so when I knew, as soon as you started talking about it, I was like, yo, she gonna talk about that long prompt. A lot of people still do that and wonder why the results aren't as competitive in the feed. take out some of the unnecessary stuff that doesn't need to be there. Like the tech doesn't talk to us and understand us in that same capacity when you're trying to create art. If you're out trying to have a conversation, that's one thing. But we're not having a conversation in Midjourney. We're just giving a command. Hey, make this, make this, make this, make this way. It's not a back and forth, which is why me personally, I started in Midjourney. I want to learn that because that's much harder to do than to just talk to chat. That's easy. I can do that all day. But I'm still going to need to have a long conversation with chat to refine it down to what Midjourney is giving.
Right.
I see.
And that's what it is. You speaking to it in this language. And now that I'm using Sora, it's just like chat. Whereas Kling is a lot like Midjourney, Sora is a lot like chat. So if I give it a 2-page essay, it's going to spit some fire. Because I was just giving it basic stuff and it just wasn't really hitting. You have to give it a lot more information to cook, just like Midjourney. You don't have to give it that much. You just give it the main pieces, it's gonna cook. Kling the same way. You give it the main pieces, it's gonna cook. But ChatGPT and Sora, you give it like the essays. It likes the long. So it all depends on, you got to speak the language that the platform, the AI that you're talking to.
I remember that you guys have to. For the audience members, I work with 2 very intelligent men, and it was also hard for me to just ask them questions, and so I kind of like stuck to Uriah because I didn't know Lewis, but then I also knew that Lewis had something that Lewis's art was different from Uriah's style. And I wanted to, and if you look at my work now, I think I have all three of us in my art now. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm very clean and structured with my appearances because I took the time to, remember we talked about heritage. If you're Somalian, as you put that in there, that way you can feel certain things, you get certain features. And then Uriah is his creativity is different. It's like on a whole nother planet. Like sometimes he'll send me stuff and I'm like, what? Did he want me to like this? But then I can see it, but then I can see where he was going with it. And then I'm just like, oh, if you put how Lewis is clean with his images, like I'm not just saying images, with his people. Remember how we did the whole eye thing? Mm-hmm. Now, if people go back and look at my work, you can tell that my eyes before were blurry. My eyes now, you can literally see them. But then you can also see like a weird space creature, which represents how Uriah is, like weird space creature coming out. You're like, why? And I'm like, it's okay, because I'm about to put an affirmation with it, and it's going to be all liquidy, But my whole point of saying that is, I was not afraid. I became unafraid and was like, hey, are you just telling me that when I speak to chat, have a conversation, because that's what chat is. And when I speak to Midjourney, just pump it with what I need for it to do and move away.
Yeah. Get them sound effects you have.
Once I gathered that from both of you, my work level went to another realm. So that's what I mean. Don't be afraid to ask, but just know like every AI has its own way of speaking to it. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking through my book. I fast forwarded to a month later, week 3, and I have a Q&A session. I have shout out to Ms. Bennett. She asked me on that week, how do we get close-up pictures in Midjourney? And I wrote right below it, hey, put in there, close-up shot, extreme close-up shot. And back then, like you were just talking about, I was putting the really, really big eyes. Like the whole screen is like an eyeball, but it has a reflection of a scene inside of the eyeball. And so she was asking, hey, how are you how are you doing that? Yo, just put it in the prompt. You need to actually add in a shot type. That's going to help you to make your designs cleaner, but it also is giving Midjourney, here, do it in this way. The very next question, shout out to Miss Virginia. She said, have you cleaned your airbrushes yet? At that point, I was being a slacker. I was trying to manage both airbrushing, a live stream, content creation, the 9 to 5, etc. But I didn't have like a structure. I didn't have a format. There was no content calendar. I was just running and gunning. So I said on that day, hey, after the feed, I'm going to go paint tonight. Shout out to Tamasha. She asked, how do you prompt photorealistic in different age groups? Which now we're seeing a lot more of. And shout out to you, Adama. You sent an advertisement a couple of weeks ago for us to kind of look at in the watch party. And I saw several different age groups. So being able to prompt for that in Midjourney was key to be able to market. We talked about that a year ago. So now fast forward to now, and we actually have an animation tool or tools to be able to prompt for that. Like Uriah said, hey, he's putting in a whole paragraph into Sora, but it's getting it. I personally have a framework for Kling, and it's getting it. Adama, I know you are Kling, Luma, Sora?
And Adobe.
But you've got a framework that works.
Mm-hmm. You know what? And I want to say Uriah's probably passed me in the Sora part because Sora frustrates me. But yeah, that's the ones I primarily use when I'm doing liquid stuff and like want it to give me like a fast frame. I go to Sora. Each one of them have their own, and if you put it all together, you have. I mean, and I also use what's it called? What's the other one called? I can't remember. I can't pronounce it well. It's HAIL. Yeah. So those are my go-tos.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're frustrated with Sora because you're still thinking in Midjourney.
And you know what? I think the reason why I'm frustrated with Sora, I know that if I went pro, what is it, pro?
She don't want to pay that $200.
Yo, listen, I'm not trying to be funny. I finally said it the other day. I said it the other day, and I was sitting here as I was, sick. I said, "Damn it, Uriah." Because I looked at one of his videos and I said, damn it. I already knew where it came from. I could just, I can look at the videos now and tell where they come from, which is crazy. But I looked at it and I said, damn it, that's Sora. And that's what he got, I won't get in, what's it called? Pro, and what's it called? What's the other one I'm on?
Plus.
Huh?
Plus. Okay,
so I'm on Plus. I'm like, damn it. What he's doing in Pro, I won't be able to do. I would look like I'm coming straight out of preschool, getting ready to go to kindergarten.
No, I think you can. As I said, I started making my prompts really long, and that's when it started heating up.
Okay, well, I guess because I'm out of that mental frame of making them long, because I had like a pretty one that I really wanted to do, and I went and put it in there, and then it gave me back something else. I was like, so I'm done messing with you. I need to be pro.
You gotta utilize chat. Chat. I got 3 of them now. I got one that makes a chat, a Sora. I got a chat within ChatGPT to make a Sora prompt. So I throw a couple of ideas in it, and it makes, it makes it for Sora. So, and it's really long. I try to put the same thing in Kling, and Kling won't even take it because it's too long. But I put it in Sora. And I haven't even been doing, but the past couple of weeks, I haven't even been doing image to video. Everything has been text to video.
I could tell in the last couple of ones that you've done, I was just like, because I know how we all control the dynamics of our videos. And then I think I saw your leprechaun one. I was like, he must have did text to. Did you do text to video for that one?
Yep.
That's what I thought. I was like, yeah, he must have did text to video for that. But anyway, I was just playing the Dr. ER on animation on it. I was like, damn it.
But that's how we're starting to figure out what is the best hybrid combination to get the best finished product. And I want to just shout out to D-Star War over on the Watch Party. He said ITX Studio is interesting as it tries to process the entire studio process. And then he also threw in the chat, WeGo is another platform that you can try out for AI video. And then Lisa Digital said, Kling takes forever. Do I need a better plan? So
it takes forever.
I don't think it does.
Versus Sora, it does.
Oh, versus Sora, I could just listen. I could put the phone down and Sora's already like, I got it.
Yo, Sora is so fast.
Boom. I got you.
She's on the trial. Yeah. Hey, get the paid subscription and give it a try then. My standard videos that I do two 10-second videos at a time. Those take about 2.5 minutes, maybe 3. And then when I'm doing a professional 10-second video, it'll take about 5, maybe 6 minutes. But because of how I have my prompts structured, I'll just like run a sequence back to back. Just, hey, I got 8 or 10 videos running at the same time. I'll download all of those at the same time because then I can just go straight into my editing process. The results are much better now than they used to be. So I have less, fused fingers, the face changing and all of that. It's more consistent now. So I hope that answers your question.
I do want to say, take Luma out my field. I'm done with Luma.
Why?
They're doing too many upgrades. They're not explaining itself, and I'm not going to sit and of course I'm a researcher, so I'm going to pick it apart and find out how to use it because I want to use it. But I would not recommend anybody who's new with animation to go over and do it. Because you'll leave feeling like, oh my God, I'm never going to get this right. Fuck it. Oh, excuse me.
I'll let me write that one down. Hey, as the producer,
write that one down. Yeah, take that one down. 639. Take it down. Look, Black Hawk down. But you know what? I would not recommend Luma for anyone who is starting it brand new. I would recommend Kling. I would recommend Sora because the relax mode, even if you get out of the relax mode, it's phenomenal. But Kling,
I don't think they. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I don't think they actually differentiated relax mode and fast mode. It does the exact same thing.
Same thing.
I think they're just trying to call it something different because they're trying to start to make money. But it's the same thing.
They do the exact same thing.
He's dying. Get a breath. Catch your breath. No, I think they're trying to figure out the tiered system. They're not profitable. As a business, they're not profitable. Even getting the paid $200 version, they're not making money.
Because it's not a for-profit company. It's a not-for-profit organization that.
Who are we speaking about? Sora?
OpenAI.
Well, they're thinking about what he should have done, and you're right. You can talk. I'm sure you probably thought about it too. They should have just started the introductory price at $42. Period. And I was reading, and I think it was Wall Street Journal. It was in Wall Street or Forbes that they should have started off at $42. So that way, the $20 would have been off the spectrum, and they would have seen some type of. They probably wouldn't have gotten a return on it, but then at least go to the next tier, which would have been 100, and then boom, 200. I think they should have started that. But I don't want us to get off topic on it. But that was just my thinking of it. But Sora is definitely a good one to start with animation. I think if you just don't be afraid of it, and you would think that Chat GPT and Sora, you would think that Chat knows how to speak to Sora. Chat really don't play. Chat's like, Sora is my cousin, and I need Sora to speak to me like the way I needed to speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Chat's like, I'm not adjusting. Sora needs to adjust to me. So
You see,
they
Sora's
both
not in it, right? Like
right. They
Ali
both
is in
speak
it.
two different languages. They both speak two different languages.
Yo,
I think.
hey, real quick. So this is a really good real-time question. So shout out again, D Star Wars. Let me give you some love on this question. That was a really good one. Okay, so have you covered the process from character design to 5+ second video clips? And then in parallel said Leonardo AI is cheap, competitive alternative to Midjourney for character. We have kind of covered that process, but not a refine. So, okay, let me answer that this way. Each of us uses a different, unique hybrid way of taking our Midjourney characters, because we're all using Midjourney, all the way through the animation process. So again, I personally only use Midjourney to create all of my images. I use my own framework, so everything that you see is something original from me. I then will pick and choose which of those I want to kind of animate, and that's my quality control process. And I take those images and I go into ChatGPT. Side note, do y'all know my video prompt, my Clingers prompt chat hit me with the, hey, you're full, no more chatting here yesterday. So I had to retrain a brand new chat overnight.
Oh,
Yeah, that was fun. Let me tell you about that. But I take my images, I go to my trained chat, and feel free to download the free tools that are attached to my bio in all of the platforms. There's a free training guide in there, so you're more than welcome to enjoy that. I have a specific way that I explain to Kling, I want you to animate this scene. And it's structured a certain formatted way, but I will direct it on, hey, I want you to make, and we'll use me as an example. I want you to make me dance, turn, and smile and put a fist in the air all at the same time. And then based on what I've already pre-trained it on my personal tailored liking, it'll kind of run with that. And then I'm able to refine, hey, instead of me turning to the left, can you have me turn to the right and turn my head to the left this time around? And it'll adhere. But then when I get into Kling, like Uriah was just saying, I have a set length that I put in there. And because of the length, it really gives enough context for Kling to be able to say, okay, cool, I'll make it do everything that you ask it to do. Most of the time, I'm not in professional. I'm just running standard so that I can get more videos out of the amount of tokens that I currently have. But if I really want something to be high quality and I want it to like keep the hyper realism and to look like a real person, yeah, I'll run it in professional. And pretty typically, I don't have to rerun because of how much detail I've given in the structure. So I hope that answers, but I know that we all use a different tool, so it would be hard to give a one size fits all answer. Does that kind of make sense? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. I'm
it
just
definitely makes
checking.
sense. That's the entire format, right? That's how you use it. You know, like you figure out how to use it, which is hard because you don't know how to use it, and there's no guide for these things. Like it's a lot of trial and error. So
Bingo.
if there's no guide for it, we're all learning at the same time. We're just figuring out like, oh, does this work? Oh, this is, I've been doing it for so long, then it works. That's why I was in the beginning. I said Lewis is just as crazy as I am because we do the same neurotic things. Like spend a month just talking to an AI chat just to get the one image that we want. Like the reason we know how to use each one is because we've been doing a lot of nerding out. This is like a big geek out session. Adama too. I'm not leaving Adama out. She does the same thing. That's why we're all here. We all are neurotic about how to get to the next level and how to master the platform that we're using. And that's exactly what you have to do. You have to figure it out. Find one platform, at least like one methodology that you know about, and go with that. And then apply that to everything else that you're working on.
Yeah.
You said something very key there. That last part, find your one part and continue to work on that, because I do believe that, with ADHD, you can be like literally all over the place because you're trying to find the right answer on how to create what you're looking for. And it's just not only creative spectrum of it, it's just also finding what you need. And I think a lot of people who are hesitant or people who find it difficult is because they're trying to bounce around. I remember one of the key conversations that we had probably like a year ago. You said to me, Adama, just try Midjourney, because I think you and I were going to do like a carnival. Remember?
Right.
Yeah, we were about to do a carnival, and you loved all my images, but you were just like, I think if you tried it in Midjourney, it'll give you that photo realistic. Because I said I wanted it to look like I was taking images from National Geographics, and I can't get chat or I think at the time Bing, Copilot, whatever, to do it. And I just remembered you were just like, find one and stick to it. So just find one generator that you're going to use. And if you're trying to get it to look that way, the way that we're talking about right now, do it and stick with it. Just stick with it.
Yeah.
And try not to get frustrated. And don't look for the quick answers. Look for an answer or ask the questions that you know that you're going to retain for creation.
Hey, Jen, will you do me a favor? This is a good breaking point. I want to put that graphic that you put in the chat, yours and my chat. Can you put that up on the screen so we can show the rest of the team? I think this is a really good opportunity because we have several new people that are here on the feed today. And I think it would be good to introduce the rest of the team that is also working behind the scenes. Jen, you're never on camera, so it would be good for them to see you. And then we have one other team member that I didn't get into my graphic that I dropped this morning, but I want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to see his page as well, because he's a critical part of how we all do what we all do from an audio standpoint. And that's Mr. Leslie Blair. While we've been talking about
the leadership lounge.
Yeah, right there. All right, so if you're looking at the screen right now, obviously on the left, you can see Mr. Uriah, you can see Miss Adama, you see myself, Lewis, here in the middle, you see Jen on my right, and then on the end, you see Mr. Leslie Blair. While we don't get a chance to talk about the audio side very often, I think today is a really good opportunity to give Mr. Blair his flowers. He has done the majority of the soundtrack for the Leadership Lounge. I know that he is he is an AI creator that, you know, he really kills it in the music department. Most all of the audio side of things that you hear from my content is now coming from Leslie. The intro that Uriah just played, yeah, Leslie. Can you guys also talk about what he's done to in collaboration with each of us for you, Adama, and you, Uriah?
Yes, he's been phenomenal. Like, he gets it. He understands what sound like is, like what you need for the image. Cause I remember when I first met or first saw Leslie, he had these super hyper realistic, popping out the screen, cyborgs, action figures. I'm like, man, that's dope. I love that. I love that. I love that. So then I'm like you said, I reached out. I'm like, man, how are you getting that? And he said, Photo Leap or in Video Leap. I'm like, wait, what? I use that. But I was like, I never went to their AI side because I was already doing AI on this end. He was like, no, he went with it. And he pretty much did the same pattern with like all the Lightricks apps where he was doing it. And he was like, I do this, but he was like, oh, but actually, I really like music. And he started talking about the music, and I hit him with some footage. He hit me back with the audio to put with it, and I mean, it was like it's like genius level. It's like I see what it is, and I know exactly the sound that needs to be with that, along with the sound effects. And he like how all of us here talk about how to train like the image generators. He knows how to train the audio generators. So he's using text to audio. Like we're talking about text to image, text to video, image to video, but this is audio, it's music. And it's like it's a whole nother language. And I'm not a musical person, so I don't know a lot of the lingo in that. So he does. So he knows how to talk to it the right way. Like how we even got to this. I want to say this is version 6. And this was all from a text conversation. It was all from a text conversation. Like I was like, this is what I want. I got this vision, and I'm not very descriptive in my language and music because I'm not a musical person. But he felt it. He felt what I was going for, and he mirrored exactly what I wanted, which was phenomenal to me because I'm not a man of many words, and I only gave him a few. I was like, this is what I want. And we probably had like 20 minutes in between texts because I'm always doing something else. I'm like, this is what I want. Boom. And he hit me with something. I'm like, I like it, but I don't like that. And went back, and this was over a course of like a couple of days because we're all doing something. This is over a Facebook message. And
Welcome to the leadership.
and I was like, bro, you nailed it. He was like, I knew exactly what you were talking about. I was just trying to find it. And he even gave me the text for the prompt that he used and how he refined it. And that's when I was like, oh, you refine it the same way you do with the image prompts. And I was like, hey, this dude is a musical genius on the AI side. I was like, I'm never going to get to that level. Leslie is the man. Like, I'm never going to get to that level. I'm always going to rely on Leslie because he knows exactly what to do with it.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
He's on.
you already know.
He's in the chat. I see him in the chat.
Saw him in there. I see him in there. That's why I was like, Big L. But you know what? He has literally, I mean, you guys kept telling me, go to Leslie. And I was a little hesitant, as I always am. And then I went there, and him and I told you, it's like he gives me a birthday cake every day. He like always surprises me with something. And I am so grateful. Like the last video I just did, the last little short film that I did, he had given me that audio probably weeks ago. And as I was creating to his music. But even when I send him stuff, he creates for my video. It's just like I could send him a blank canvas and he's like, here you go. I mean, the music is just, I love it. I love it. And I you should see our chats because I'm just like, I love it. I'm so happy. Thank you. I mean, he's really, I'm so grateful. Because, you know, I'm like, as Uriah said, I want to figure it out. I want to master it. And then I tried, and let me tell you, I went to Leslie.
Had to.
You can't master everything. You
I was
can't
like, I'm
master
just
everything.
going to leave it to him. He can have it. He can have it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
So I think that's key to talk about while we're sitting here and having this conversation real time. So I have no interest in trying to learn how to prompt for music. I'm not interested. Like images and video is enough. I already didn't want to be on camera, and now I'm live streaming every week. So I just don't have an interest in wanting to learn how to prompt for music. So rather than, and I'll give an exclusive, like, hey, we're going to get rid of Epidemic Sound and I'm going to use Leslie Blair for the rest of the year. Like, I'd rather pay him. I'd rather pay him. I'd rather his company get the money because, he's tailoring it to exactly what I need. And it's not taking a whole lot of back and forth between the two of us. Shout out to you, Leslie. I appreciate it. But he's already figured it out. So I don't want to have to like reinvent the wheel. I would lean on him for his service, for certain coaching things. I lean on Uriah. I don't really think that I'm the person that's appropriate to teach animation. So I'm going to lean on Anima to do that. Like, Jen is crushing it in the production. I can do it here on the phone, but it looks funny for you guys in the audience. So I'm going to lean on her. Being able to lean on the people that are in your circle for their area of expertise, I think is really going to be exceptionally critical this year. I don't think we have any more time to bicker, to be kicking people out of groups, to be throwing shade. I think that time is over. Like, I think we got to get it figured out this year.
We literally have a whole kitchen. Like, seriously, guys. We literally have a whole kitchen. I don't even know how this happened. Like, it happened like boom, boom, clack, bam, spam. I don't know. Like, that's crazy. And then, like, for for Leslie, just remember how he came on the scene? Y'all remember how he came on the scene in the group? I was like, yo, who's creating this with abs? I cannot do the abs. I was like, why is his animation like? I'm mad that's all I focused on. Remember? And then I started going toe to toe with him with the Egyptian artwork. I started going to. I was like, oh, you got this? He's like, yep. I was like, well, let me show you about this. And then boom, next thing you know, he's music. I'm like, he's like, I've been doing it my whole life though. And I'm like, oh, well, never mind. You can have that. But it's crazy how he came onto the scene because he came onto the scene on art based, not the music spectrum part.
That part. Hey, it wasn't until maybe like 2-3 months ago we had a sidebar off platform conversation. He's like, yeah, this is what I do. Like, almost like what Kim said last week. Hey, Google me. I got IMDb credits. Just go ahead, go look it up. And it was like, oh, yo, you been holding out on us for the whole year of 2024, and I'm just hearing about this? Yo, bruh. And so ever since, like, our collective, our crew, we've just been adding on people and being willing to share. I think that's why we've hit 50 episodes in a nutshell. It's the community actually pouring in, and like we are filling a need that is there, but we didn't really know it was there quite yet. Now we're all coming together and putting all the skills. And we got D Star Wars over here cooking in the watch party chat. This is my first time like engaging and interacting with this person. But they're like literally giving a clinic in the chat. Yo, go try this. Hey, go check this out. Hey, here's a resource. It's amazing how many people just come here and freely just give of themselves. That's why we hit 50 episodes. It's not necessarily just me and my vision. It's you guys, the co-host, the producer, the music man, the audience. It's all of us collectively. So this year, I think that we need to have a theme of this year in being, why is content so important in general? Not short form specific, long form specific, or image specific, but in general, why is it so important? And how do we fit into that? What do you guys think about that, co-host? Ooh, they're silent.
Yo, mute.
I said, you sounds like a season 2. What you just said, like, let's do now. That was season 1. Now we're for season 2 for 50 more episodes. That sounds really good because we're now taking it from where we primarily talked about art, and now we're taking it to another level. And what's crazy is you've already given steps to how to get to this next level. Like when you go back to that note, when you go back to your notebook, and I have my notebook too, but it's over here on the couch. But I'm trying to say that sounds like a season 2.
We're there. We're there. You, Ryan, what about you? He's coughing along.
I'm sorry. I was in and out. What was the question?
All right, so we're on season 2 of Lounge.
Woo, I love that. I love how you said that. Sorry.
Unofficially, we are on season 2 of The Lounge.
It's the cliffhanger right here.
The theme for the second half of this first 100 episodes is, why is content so important, and how do we fit into that? What do you think about that for the theme?
I mean, I love it because content is king. Content is king. Storytelling is king. So if you know how to do that effectively, especially in this new realm, where we're going to be the go-to people, we're going to be the subject matter experts. We have a platform now on every realm. Like it's not just video. It's not just this. AI has created a whole new platform similar to like when Google came out. It created a new trajectory of everything. AI is doing the same thing. It's creating a new trajectory of everything, and we've mastered at least a few of the components. So since we know a few of those components, we need to make sure we capitalize off that and keep pushing that forward, while also just adjusting to how everything develops. Because we just said, like, this time last year, we were doing the same thing, but we're learning while AI is also learning too. It's not like it's a platform that's already ready. We're learning how to learn it as it learns. Like, it's definitely learning quicker, but we're learning how to, like, okay, well, this one has went this direction. This one has went this direction. So which one are we going to stick with? But when you have your main framework, that framework applies to all your prompt engineering tasks, whether it's images, videos, audio, whatever it is. Like just generative AI, when you're just talking to it, just advisory. It all uses the exact same framework. So whichever framework you're on, that's the one you learn. And we're all of us, if you're on this call now, you've been on AI for a while. So we're going to be light years ahead of the next people that haven't gotten on yet. Because, like I said, who's just as crazy as me? These two are just as crazy as me, just as excited about AI, where the people that we might be around aren't as excited. So it's like we went and found our community because the people that's in your general circle probably isn't that excited about AI. They could be anti-AI. It doesn't matter because it is what it is. If you don't like it, that's fine. It's not going away. And if you like it, that's cool. But if you don't know how to use it, then that's your lane. And if you're a complete nerd about it, then this is which way we're going. So if you meet each person at their level, then I think that's what is going to make this show and everything that we're doing go to the next level.
I totally agree. Sorry, as I'm dying over here too. I see some great community happening in the chat. I see Lisa Digital said, I found my home with a 100. Can I get a sound effect for that? I also say, I see that D Star War has been tapping in. I just want to give you a special shout out. I've been showing you love on your comments. I know I'm not on my normal phone, but I want to tell you, hey, we appreciate your contribution. Please make sure that you join the camp so that I can come back and follow you after we get off the live. I see that we got a lot going on in this chat over here. Warrior Queen said they were tapping in from the UK. So I want to give you a special shout out. I know we had a chance to connect this week, and I'm glad that you got tapped in with the Unleashed AI Creativity Group. This is pretty much your admin team right here. I know that Shirley is probably on one of our live streams, but she is the other moderator over there. Make yourself at home. You feel free to post whatever you want, ask any questions that you want to ask, and definitely check out the guide section. We've got all of our how-to, everything that we do for the most part, with the exception of animation, which that's coming. But that's all in the guides already pre-set up for you. So if you have questions, reach out to any or all of us or whoever you feel comfortable with. I will say I'm here to be a resource. But I want to say shout out to all of the individuals who have been here with us and helping us celebrate today. This has really been a special episode for me. I just want to say thank you. I'm loving it.
Are you blushing over there? Are you blushing? Are you blushing?
I am. I love it.
Yeah, you know what? I love what Lewis. I love what Leslie said. Leslie said, "Look," he said, "Same here. I'm crazy as a bed bug over AI."
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm talking about. Me too. Me too. This is great.
Right, so,
Shy? Is it Chick Chai? That's a good comment.
where are you looking?
I'm looking at the monitor at the bottom. It says episodes of Low from the Beginner to Expert. That's amazing. And you know, like everything that you have, there's the source of references that you have in there. Those are all levels to building up to animation, honestly. And another thing that we have in our thread is we have the collaboration section. Like you can call someone to the table. Hey, I need you to collaborate with me. Can you collaborate with me? And the best way to learn is collaboration. I remember my first collaboration. Someone took my first collaboration, and that was Uriah. And we did the planets, you remember?
Yeah.
The Martin. And then I learned his style. I learned so much from that collaboration that we did. And then it sparked like a wildfire through the group. Remember that? You remember that, Lewis?
I do.
Like 7 planets. Yep. And it went like
that seems like forever ago.
Great. Right. It feels like forever ago. And then because I was still unfamiliar, I thought I was just a pro at it. It was great because I would go back and ask Uriah, well, how did you do that? He was like, oh, I used Midjourney. And I'm like, are you using Midjourney through Discord? He was like, what? No. And I learned how he was using it to another level. But it was so I learned so much from working as a collaboration.
Yeah, that's key.
I want
You know, we
to
can-
get shout out. Shirley is on. Shirley says shout out to Pisces Adama, hang in there with the badass AI bad boys, Uriah and Lewis.
I love it. Hey, happy belated birthday to Miss Shirley. I know I
Yes.
did. I thought I sung to Shirley this week. Like
Oh.
she's family. Like I
Yeah.
made a video for her. I sang happy birthday to her. But that's how close our group is. Like we've been together through a lot in our group. So yo, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Shirley. Shirley's another one. She's didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to do any AI. She was like, "Oh, I like your AI, but I'm not gonna do it. That's for y'all." And now she's making her own videos. She's making her own videos. She's editing. She started out saying she wasn't even gonna make an image. She's like, "I just take y'all images. Y'all images are good enough. I'll take that and share it." And then I was like, "No, you can do it. You can do it too. Like, what do you want to see? Just do exactly what you want to see." And then she started doing it. She was like, "Oh, that's actually kind of easy." Boom. And then it just goes from there. And then now you're going from not making any images to making video, like full blown productions.
Miss. I'm a lazy Pisces over here. I'm not gonna do video. That's for y'all. I'm gonna let y'all do it. Now look at her. She a full-blown creator. And she took 3 months off. For the record, she had 3 months of downtime. So she's come back with like fury and crushing it. Shout out to you, Shirley.
Yay, Shirley, Pisces sister. I'm right around the corner.
She said music is king.
Our time is coming. Aries gang, 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 gang.
It's okay. I'm a hot fan.
Leslie and Shirley, y'all need to link up because both of y'all have that music.
They really do. They really need to. And I said I was going to contact you, Shirley, because I got my YouTube up finally. Come on, go ahead, give me a sound effect. And I'm going to put some music with my affirmations. So I'm building up towards my affirmations so that way I can also open up a room for affirmations as well. So I'm coming. She's coming.
See, that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't have to be perfect to just get started. Yo, I really was going to go back and find episode 1, and I'm like, yo, I was just raw holding the phone, live streaming. Like, no microphone.
Yo, you're on episode 50. You got a whole crew.
Insane.
You got a whole crew.
It really doesn't have to be perfect to just get started. Honestly,
that blows my mind.
Started, stay consistent, and keep it going. Think about it. Like you was holding the phone, episode 1.
Yep.
Figuring it out over time. Now we at episode 50. We got a whole StreamYard. We got video. We got 3 people connected.
Or
promo. Multiple
it.
platforms going. Like that's keep going.
We have to be on. We know what's coming. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just plugging in that's my motto for this year. Push the button.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a
now we're like be on set. We got be on set. Like we can figure out things like that's working for our clips. I mean, like, yo, it's like Lewis, think about where you came from. Yeah. I went back and watched. That's why you saw so many hearts coming up on your screen today, because I was going back and I was like, oh my God, this is Lewis. You know, like this little baby Lewis. And now we're like episode 50. I mean, phenomenal. Congratulations again. I cannot. You're building
Nah, I really, really appreciate that. And like, y'all have kept me going over this year. You know, every week we're going through something. You know, our group is going through something. We're learning something new. Where I know I can speak to you, Ryan, and I'm sure that you've experienced this too, Adama, getting kicked out of groups for just trying to participate. Not even trying to like showboat, just actively trying to participate and being
I did get
shunned for it. So the
Mhm.
fact that we have found our AI family and community and just made it happen every week, and the same things that I do with teaching, now I see you guys doing the same thing with teaching. Now other people are getting tapped in, like, you know, the person that's in the chat over here, D Star Wars, he's teaching in the comments. You know, Leslie's always willing to answer questions, you know, so we're all doing it in our own regard. And now we have a home base to be able to do that collectively. I want to extend an open invitation to the other individuals who are watching this on the replay tomorrow on Monday. You know, you have an open invite to come on the show and highlight your talents and market your products and your services. That's what this community is about.
Let's
So
get
if you have a product and a service and you're interested, reach out to one of the three of us so that we can get you scheduled to come on the show and talk about what you do, who you are, give you your flowers. I want
Let's
to
do it.
explain you guys.
Let's do it.
Yes. I mean, I feel like we're opening up so many after having Kim on. I mean, from even our first guest with Victor, we're showing you all these doors with AI. And even like from like behind the scenes, we always spoke about things, but I really believe that with the new era that we're in, I have to say era because it's a new era. I keep constantly saying this is a new era. With the era that we're in, we have to teach our youth to learn how to use this responsibly. And that's what I got from Victor. And then we had Shayna on, and then like her whole adventures that's getting ready to start, and how she's doing history and everything. And then Kim, the playground, and how she uses it, and how she started it, and what she does, and the success that she's having with it. I mean, like, we're now showing you different avenues. I mean, so this is amazing. And Lewis, again, I hate to double back to you. Your little baby is now, you know, full blown walking, talking, going to school.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yep.
all this, and we have more guests to come, and it's just everything that's going on. And I'm like, I love the direction. This is a great group. This is a great place. We're a great source of information. And I love it also that you don't get on here and you think that you just feel the love. You just know that we're here. So yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it here.
We love it here too.
I love it.
All right, so I want to kind of wind this down because I want to hang with my wife this Sunday. Like, I really try to keep it. I tried originally to keep this show closer to an hour, and we are consistently a 2-hour show. We're every Sunday, we're a 2-hour show. So this week, I want to kind of shorten it because I want to hang with my wife. She's back here producing. I want to stop and say thank you to our wonderful producer, Jen. We appreciate all you do and could not do this without you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thank you to our moderation team in Unleashed AI Creativity, Ms. Kayshana, Ms. Shirley, Ms. Toy, and Ms. Adama. I just want to say thank you for all that you guys do and contribute to the space. It is why we've got as many creators as far as they have gotten with good ethical standards and morals, so that when they get outside the group, they are really confident in their own abilities in their own right, and not taking credit for anything from them, but really just you guys have been willing to pour into them so freely. And so I just want to say thank you for what you guys do. I want to say thank you to Uriah for being a really good brother in AI over the last year and keeping me in check when you guys don't see that I might be getting a little out of line. I can expect Uriah gonna call me the following day and give me an earful. So I want to say thank you to you for that, because I would not be able to grow as an individual the way I have over the last year without your contribution. Like, you're a major part of how this has all evolved to where it's gotten to. I know we talk on a regular basis, so I say thank you on a regular, but I publicly want to say thank you for everything that you do.
I appreciate that, bro.
And I want to say I can't stand Uriah, and I want to say, Lewis, you're so awesome. Anyway, I just thought that since we're giving him those rights, that I just say that. Or
Gotta get it in. Gotta get it in.
I get it in.
Miss Ottoman, can we start with you this week? Can you tell the people where?
Oh yeah, you can start with me because I know we.
See, she gonna be like, I can't stand you, fool.
Can't stand them. When nobody laughing. Nobody laughing. That's why you cough. That's why you cough right after that. I don't like that.
It's karma right there.
So you can now find me on Linktree. On there you'll see that my fan base is on there, and right there at the bottom where our lovely producer has put in the address, you'll see my Linktree. There you can find my fan base. You'll be able to see my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube now, and I'm also setting up my stores, and you can just shoot me a message. Also, you can DM me. And if it's something like you really that you need something right away, please feel free to put it in the comment when you see I post a image as well. So I'm here for you. So we can go through season 2. Oh, let me use Kim's word. Google me, baby. Google me.
Yeah. I love it. All right, Uriah, what you got for us?
Pretty much the same. You can find me just here. If like you want just to do some content creation collaboration or business collaboration, the easiest way to just DM me. Or you could go to my LINQ app, and you could get everything. We could exchange our contact information. You can see all of my previous work. You can see what I do. You could actually order a payment for a process that you want to work on. Right now, my biggest are content creation and business advisory. Last week, I just had, right after the class, somebody signed up for somebody signed up for the video lead class, and we ended up doing a business advisory class. So you won't be disappointed whichever class you sign up for, because you're just gonna get Uriah, which I give all of my effort and energy into you, no matter what I'm doing at the moment. So hit it up, send the link. If you want to level up, holla at me.
I love it. All right, let me just respond to Bernade. Yes, I will get all of the links posted in Unleashed AI, and I will pin them to the featured for you. So you've got everybody's. I know the one person that is on that also has links. Leslie Blair will also have links. Jen, will you pop his up while I'm closing out? Leslie Blair is our music man for all things Leadership Lounge, as well as some of my content personally. So definitely give him a follow across the platforms. If you need some music needs, definitely reach out to him. I know that he's always very professional, and I consider him a real good friend. And so I would encourage you to check him out if you have some music needs. He does a great job with providing a good quality product with your vision, the vision that you have in mind. With that being said, my name is Lewis Marshall. I am the host of Leadership Lounge Live. I am also the airbrush artist here at Marshall Artistry. This is the home of the prompt pack. So for all of you creators who actually don't want to do your own prompt engineering, you don't have to. We got you hooked up. We've got some prompt packs that are already pre-designed for you to be able to use, reuse, mix and match. We've also got video prompts as well for you if you want to go ahead and animate some of those images that you're able to create. All of those will be available at marshallartistry.com. We do this show, this live stream every Sunday at 6 Eastern. You can find us on every platform. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We're on Fanbase. We will be coming to Instagram here shortly so that we can get some content over there, because I know there's people over there that need help also. Other than that, this has been a great 50th episode. This is the end of chapter 1, and we're getting ready to open chapter 2. I'm excited to do this with all of you, my co-hosts, the audience. You all are amazing. You're what keeps me going. You're what drives me every Sunday. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you guys all next week. I love y'all, and holla.